man. Let's ring it. We talked about it, man. Let's ring it. But you don't hear me. So what you're telling me is the music industry. Let's ring it. Beautiful things, man, happening in the Eastern Cape, all over the world. Manbulise kumhlali wonke okhoyo namhlanje lawe. Gama nguSibusiso kaMlifi. This is the first official Let's Ringa ndithi ndiyanamkele khaya ningene kakuhle lawe, because apha this is the platform where we talk about everything regarding the music industry, but specifically on the topics of music publishing, copyrights, contracts, music contracts to be specific, and then kubekho events management and multimedia. So I'm hoping that you are interested in those, because that's who we are catering for, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. Today we're going to be picking out of those five one which is music publishing. Namhlanje we are joined by a legendary, a great man. But before I introduce you to you, that man, I want to talk about the channel firstly, since it's the first official episode, and then just a bit in depth about what we are going to be hearing from here and where you're going to hear it from. Otherwise, we used to do this on Facebook, and now we are right here on YouTube alone. We used to multi-stream at the same time between Facebook and YouTube, and now we are here on YouTube alone, and it's a completely new channel. It's called Let's Ringa. Previously it used to be Let's Ringa as the title, but we didn't have an official channel. Now it's Let's Ringa on the channel on YouTube. That's where you're gonna find us at. I'm hoping Lawe Umhlali has a lot of questions regarding the music publishing, because I'm keen to introduce to you the man we are going to be talking to namhlanje. But before you do that, I hope you are subscribed, because this is the first but not the last. So hit that subscribe button, make sure indobana ubetha nalabhele secaleni, so that you keep on being reminded of when we drop and when it's going to be happening, because asizenze zawezokuhalisa si-anticipate abahlali indobana kukho elo hlobo ezayo, we just go live like we did namhlanje. But before those things, we make sure we promote on Facebook. We make sure we promote through e-links, through short trailers of what the next episode will be about. On Facebook, we pitch on Bang Entertainment. It's BANG Entertainment. That's where you can find everything about Let's Ringa. Nangiyaphanga semva uBang Entertainment ngulo usipushayo namhlanje intobana sibe silapha. But ke officially now, let us welcome one and only Khotmani uta Sakhele Mzalazala. You've been hearing a lot about me in the Tetangai in the city. Namhlanje ndizawuba ne-guest from CD Baby. CD Baby is a multinational company based from a USA, Portland, Oregon. That's where it was founded, but now it has found its way to its shores, beyond the shores of Atlantic Ocean lawe. In fact, the Pacific moskwela cala ukwelela ngapha lawe kusondela ngakuthi. And so we are here Africa, and baye bafumana le Khotmane and made him responsible for the business development management in terms of the African side, the Southern Hemisphere to be specific, of the artist, independent artist to be specific. So mandamkele le Khotmane lawe, without further ado, and bring him up to screen. Beke akhalazi into bana ibonakale kakuhle njengami ndibonakale la good. Tasake Khotmane.
Buddha have been with
Yeah.
because battling those next time, eh?
Ndiqhathile ne.
Brown fire ngoma man, brown fire ngombe yabo.
I know the villain the QL something proper next time lawe. Otherwise Khotmane go right.
All is good, man. Inkosi kakhulu man na platform, man, and this will sell na kubo bonke abo bamameleyo. Babukeleyo as well. Yes, I thank you, bro. Yeah, man.
Bayaz abantu abaqhele iradio lawe. No, Khotmane manibule.
Abanye abantu abanedatha yobukela baneyomamela.
Too bad, too bad. But ke it should be a sign into yobana mhlawumbi funeka siyithathe le wayisise nakwi-podcast lawo ezokwazi umabeleka. Otherwise
Yeah.
Rhotmani, bendinomdla wento yobana ngenye imini abanye abantu abangakwaziyo as well as I do bakhe bayifumane in length iprofile yakho, but because this is not that type of show, ndizama ukubanika nje a brief intro about who you are, where you come from, and what you are responsible for at CD Baby, and what is Sakhele Mzalazala all about.
Okay. You can do it, bro.
Kodwa irhalela uyifumana kuwe nje briefly because mna
Oh, kaloku nje
ndinqinaba.
all right. I don't really like about my profile, but yeah, Sakhele
Ayikho.
Mzalazala, born back in Port Elizabeth, Gqeberha. Grew up there, wafunda wayene demo ke funa ucula, you know. Wasuka Payana, he had one of hit songs, you know, that he made back home. You know, wasuka nayo lo ngoma leyo nje waza eJoburg kuba ke wayefuna a recording deal. But then I was invited in a workshop. Workshop yakhona, it had 60 musicians. Those musicians were coming from different provinces, so we were asked to introduce ourselves. So uyaphakama uzichaze bani ngubani, cule loo nto iyiculayo, abantu baphakame badlala ikatara, abanye baphakame badlala i-keys, you know. Ibe yiloo nto leyo, and I was like, hey, mna ndimile phaa ndiyazibuza uba ndizawucula isigcamelele apha, hey le into yoba ndizawuthi gqibela isicamhlekwa apha. So when it was my turn, I decided ukuthi, you know what, mna I just want to be on the business side. I want to help artists, kudala ndisive artists ithiwa ziyarojwa as tracks, you know. So I decided that's where I want, you know. Then fortunately the facilitator said who wants to be celebrities. We never had any work behind the scenes, you know. So bathi mangiqhwatyelwe izandla, angiqhwatyelwe izandla kwathiwa iza ngaphambili uzohlala nathi apha. He was a general manager for one of the biggest organizations back then, collect royalties for musicians. So she said ukuthi she will mentor me. Then the sebenza guy Wakaral, which is the SA recording rights. They used to collect mechanical royalties. Mechanical royalties, it's royalties that are from sales or from coping of music, you know. So I started with them, you know, in her office. I've worked there. I've became one of, you know, Kaufunda mentorishwa, you know, you always want to learn because every day you don't want to miss out, you want to do something, you know. So I learned their SABC department, their membership department, their finance department. I got hired, you know, full time. I headed membership department yabo. I was also a head of SABC because I was doing, you know, so everything plays at SABC. It will come to me. I will, and then I'll make sure that everyone gets paid. So our musicians, Zalapa, South Africa, you can mention them. About Rebecca Malop, about the late Spisongwane, about Mandoza, you know, everyone like this young guy from Gqeberha, you know, comes to Joburg and then he works for like a year, you know, through mentorship, and then he's now paying everyone, you know, in the industry. I worked for Ghetto Rough, working with Lance. I headed the publishing department for Ghetto Rough, you know, working with all the guys. I was Zola 7, Abo Cleo, Briggs, you know, Pitch Black, Afro, you know, all the guys, you know. So it was so exciting for me and it was a dream come true for me. From there, man, I learned a lot of stuff from marketing, management, you know. I ended up managing your late Swisongwane. I got him about 7 awards. You know, I worked with Zonge Tigana. I sold double platinum. I've worked with a lot of artists. I even worked with like international acts, you know, who are doing different genres, you know, of music. So I've been in the industry like for that long. I ended up now knowing almost everything within the music industry. I wrote my book, you know, where I took all the information that I know. So I started writing the book from the experience, writing about rights and business in the industry, because we get stuck into the music industry. We
mm,
always stuck, and even today, the people who are stuck in the music industry, not in the music business. I do
mm,
workshops, I do conferences. The biggest international con doing in the KZN is called the Music in Bizo. I've got Venti International happening in Fenderstorp. I'm part of it as well. I'm also part of the Northern Cape, Creatives Conference. I've traveled Africa, managing artists. I was in UK, also learning more about the industry, especially the fourth industrial revolution. I learned in UK before it even came here in Africa. Remember, when I was in UK, I went to a Bluetooth club. A Bluetooth club, what is happening is it's a club. There's a DJ who's playing, but when you get inside, everyone is dancing, but you don't hear the music. Everyone have my headphones. So what the DJ is playing is actually on the headphones. Everyone is singing along, others are dancing, and I'm like, what's happening here? So I learned, but we don't have it yet here in Africa. But
mm, mm,
my journey in the industry was that, traveling has also taught me a lot of stuff, and working with various artists, releasing the book, and I've got that huge thinking profile, and then it came now to be like be appointed as the head of Africa for City Baby, and also that happened through the work that I am doing, and because I
mm,
remember I
mm.
never even sent a CV. I decided to go to me and employment 9 to 5, never again. But when City Baby came in, I was like, US dollars. I was like, no, let me try this one. And then I took it, bruh. Took it.
I will, I will. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Le way yonke yenzeke during ngeli xesha le COVID le ka City Baby,
Yes.
and
Yes.
I
Yes.
didn't ever really get a chance to say this in person because of ukudibana nokuba kude omnye komnye and all of these things, man. But
Mm,
mandithi halala khotmane lawe, it's a huge achievement not only for you but for Eastern Cape and ikhaya lakho umzalazala Eastern Cape South Africa as a whole, because awumelanga ikhaya lakho, umele iAfrica, as you say lawe wena khotmane. And on one of the images that we
mm,
have of you here, this is what you are pushing per se, to say aye ye Africa. And I want to share this with the people because ungomnye wabahlali wena khotmane abalento abayenza le way ibe possible for abanye abantu. And abantu, when they think about dreaming, they don't think about as you said, the music business, they think about the music industry. And as a result, we want to celebrate you saying indobana, you're gonna do this for your people, you're gonna do this for indawo osuka kuyo and yourself personally. So mandithi ndiyabulela kakhulu Khotmane for taking that step, and now it has put you kule ndawo kuyo. And my question regarding that lawe is, ifika njani lawe, because I know there are people wondering indobana ikhampani yangaphaya ePortland State of Oregon e-US lawe imfumana njani umfana waseGqeberha e-Eastern Cape lawe, how does this all come together?
uh, okokuqala undenze emotional, ndiphantse ndalala. But yeah, man,
Yeah,
what
right.
happened, I've been in the industry for a very long time, sitting on different platforms. Sometimes umsebenzi esiwenzayo, especially volunteering, being everywhere, it's something that now we will sit and complain ukuthi, hey, asondiye endaweni ethile wathi. But we never noticed, we never understand ukuthi like there are so many people actually watching. There are so many people who are actually noticing what we are doing. Because I remember there's a company called Downtown Global, which is an international company that owns City Baby. That company bought Share. Share Publishing was bought by that company, and then when they bought Share, actually did their research with Share for looking for someone who's gonna take over City Baby in Africa. I was never in good terms with Share. I won't lie. I've been fighting with Share for like so many years. So I know what like I'm the enemy there. There we are enemies. That's what I knew. So
Sure.
Share, when they looked around, actually called me, and then they asked me to give them at least to suggest four people actually that they can interview for the job. Because this person who never wanted to work for anyone in the industry ever since like I got all the things that I got. So I gave them four. I know a lot of guys, in Africa because of traveling. They interviewed those guys, and then after that they came back to me and then they said, "Ndota, no, you here. We've interviewed people, but but
Mm,
we
mm,
still." And I was like, "Okay, cool. What do you need from me?" They asked me for a CV. I did not have a CV that time. I remember Ukarabo Mutijwan from Shea, because he's the one who hooked me up with all this. He said to me, Dada, please make a CV, make something, and then I'm going to push it for you. And I was like, okay, cool. I created a CV that day, and then I gave him the CV, and then got a call from an international number. Hey, coming from overseas, the number. I was like, what? And then they were like, okay, we can we get your email address for an interview? And then I gave them the address, and then I was interviewed, by the internationals. Before my interview with them, I had an interview with Share, and then after that it was the internationals, and I was like, okay, cool. So they told me that around for someone they saw, okay, the guys from Share actually told them about me. So when they googled, they found a lot of stuff that I've been doing here in Africa. And then after that they said that we saw your CV as well, and we thought that let them. I did the interview, but while I was doing the interview they were like, yeah, we like him. And I was like, I like you too, guys, because they're all beautiful. So I was like, I like you. Then I got the job. So I'm trying to say
sure.
that the stuff we're having, we will think
Mm,
that people are looking at us. People are actually noticing.
mm, mm. Definitely, wena man. It's not an overnight thing. That's the point I'm getting la way xa uthetha. City Baby mna ndimazela ngelaa xesha loo MySpace before even Facebook la way. And I understand into yobana sekhule kakhulu ngoku from then to now. So currently, tell me, what's City Baby's strategy for the digital age, considering yonke into ngoku it's online, and there's no longer retail shops whereby you can go in and actually buy music. So I understand they have that wing as well, but where is their focus? Because they've got publishing, they've got distribution, they've got lots of things, but where is the focus at currently?
Okay, the focus of City Baby, people they know how much I love education. Educating especially our music. Sometimes they will think, which I'm the one who's at City Baby, but it's on education. City Baby's focus is on knowledge. City Baby's
Mm,
focus is on building our upcomings, our independent musicians, independent rebels as well. So even I remember last meeting, our last meeting, we were discussing this year, what are we going to be doing? What are we going to be, what are they going to be investing on? City Baby is investing more on education. For instance, if you go to their website, that we've got a DIY blog. The DIY blog, it teaches you on different topics, from PR, from management, everything tours. That's the one that I always wish that most guys can really learn, on, where they're teaching you about touring the world, touring, doing performances, everywhere. So those are the platforms that I always say that if you go to our DIY blog, you will see that we are more on education. Also, coming back to me traveling Africa, activating, telling people about City Baby. It's good to tell them about City Baby. It's good to tell them about the platform. But that I always push is education. We need to know we need to know how to sell our music worldwide.
mm,
Which is what
mm.
City Baby has given. It's giving you education and also gives you the freedom to own your rights, to also be able to sell your music out there. So whatever that new coming on City Baby platform, you must always know that everything is based on Ikriyako and education.
Wow, that's nice. Before I get to my actual question, ndikhalela ubuza nje a little bit of a deviation when because I always get this a lot. I'm big on education, you know that. But soloko ndifumana lo mbuzo wento yobana I'm educating abantu about le nto ndiyenzayo, even competitors, so-called competitors. So yintoni enibangela into yobana nina ni-informe abantu to be aware of ezinto they might go and seek from competitors zenu? What gets to be the driver for nina to do that?
Ndikuluzile kancinci, busathi yintoni ebangela uba
What drives you as City Baby and company to land to actually inform abantu about some things they could go and try to implement with other competitors of City Baby?
Okay, okokuqala, I always say City Baby doesn't have competition. That's what I know that there are so many people like who will come and say that, hey, but whoever is, last I was in Durban this week, doing one of the conferences, the Kwande festival. So on the panel, Dito was talking. Dito is known as City Baby competition. So when I was introduced to Wendy, who heads editor, they said to Wendy, come and meet City Baby, your competition. And I was surprised. First of all, Dito is my client. Dito, they are not our competition. And find out that African, is also, our client. They are competition. The reason I'm saying this, that City Baby doesn't have a competition, is because of we are under Downtown Global. Downtown Global, biggest company in the world. You're still gonna know Downtown. Downtown owns City Baby. Downtown owns Fuga. Downtown owns Song Trust. Downtown owns EdRev. Downtown owns all these companies, so many companies that we own, that you will think that they are our competition. Downtown
Mm,
Publishing, you understand?
mm,
So
mm,
now
mm,
it becomes difficult to say we are a competition. And then when it comes to City Baby is mainly on education. And as we are on education, we can't even compete about uploading the music. We have this once-off payment that you pay for releasing a music. We don't take down your music at the end of the year. We've got
mm,
smallest percentage that we take from collecting the royalties, with 9%. So City Baby is more of an education drive. I can say it's more of a novice for the musicians coming into the industry, where they can start, to learn about the digital world, about how to sell the music without signing a contract, because we do not have a
mm,
contract. You only give us the right to distribute your music. If you want out of City Baby, you just send an email. within 24 hours we receive that, we take your music down. Also, when it comes to our sync and licensing, we don't have exclusivity. It's non-exclusive. That is why I'm saying that we cannot be a competition to anyone when we have those kind of benefits, or how we deal with you as a musician.
Yabona ke ngoku ukuthi mani ungena
Ucacile.
kanye. Yeah, very clear, very clear. And ungena kanye apho ndirhalela sibuye lapha endlini ke ngoku, because zonke ezi ugqibozithetha ngoku from umntu ongazange wazi nowathwethwe, this is higher grade talk, find. And so I would like for us to dim it down ke ngosiqale phansi, because ndithetha mna ngeartist eselokishini, ndithetha ngeartist eselalini, iartist engena internet umzekelo, because I know ngoku zikhona ezilokishini zikhona elalini, but still let's talk about umntu ongazange wake wayigooglisha noyigooglisha uba yintoni licensing, yintoni publishing, yintoni. I want you to differentiate for me between synchronization, licensing, and placement when it comes to umsebenzi osewukhona, and where does i-publishing sit kuyo yonke lento, ibe yona i-artist indawuni. Ndicela undiqalele from apho khona i-artist igqiboyibhala lento inayo ngoku as its intellectual property, iyayi-owner, and then ifika njani kwesi step sento yobana ngoku lo msebenzi ndifuna upublishwe, lo msebenzi ndifuna ulicense, lo msebenzi ndifuna uplacwe.
Okay. Unisaka ngokwencwadini yami ke ngoku. Yabona uthetha ezami ngokwendifundisa zona, like ungene kum. I-artist ezikhulayo ke ngabantu bami ke abo, for because kulapho ndibuya khona as well. So ndizawufuna uyiqala kwinto yokuba into ebalulekileyo yinto yokuba funeke uyazi ukuba irole oyidlalayo in doing a song, because le nto lena yovela siqume yonke into sithi no, i-artist yiyo yenze ingoma, kulapho irongo khona. That's when I'm saying ukuthi, like, let's move from the music industry and come to the music business, meaning once we talk about the artist is just a performer, is that person who goes on stage and just sing a song, ajambe phayana, ajive, athina. That is an artist, So the reason I'm explaining that is because of, you will find out ukuthi mna ndibhalelwa nguwe ingoma, and akho ngoma mna ndikwaziyo uyibhala, wena ubhala ingoma ogqiba wakho undithumele, but ndiyakwazi ucula, ndiyakwazi urepa, So xa ndibhukhwa mna kuzawubhatalwa mna, you understand. Xa ingoma kodwa yona idlalwa or else ifumana a sing deal or whatever, which is izinto endizawuthetha ngazo. Xa ingoma ifumana umsebenzi ngaphandle obhatalayo, the person obenefitayo iba ngulo ebeyibhala ingoma, you understand, not lo ebexhumaxhuma ecula, you understand. So royalties, royalties are different. We're gonna go deep into them, while we are in this chat. But first thing that I want you to understand is that we've got an artist who's a performer, and then we've got a composer. A composer who create beat makers. Beat makers. They are actually composers. You understand? And then the author. The author is the one who's gonna be writing the lyrics. Yabona. So yonke into ibhalayo, which is words, lonto leyo siye as an author. So if you understand nje lonto leyo okokuqala, those are just the basics. Now you will understand what okay, there's understand as long as. But now the biggest question is, what if I do all these things on my own? Which is what I want to get. Must give me artist, give me composer, give me author. So you need to understand again, when it comes to business, there are different income streams. So as we have different income streams, you must understand, as I said, as a performer, every time you get bookings, that's when you're going to be getting your monies. You understand? Because you must remember, we've got artists as a performer. Zanga in the studios that record. but umuntu uzawukhwela estage acula ingoma yomnye umuntu. Laa mntu ubhatelwe for uperforma phayana as an artist, you know. But laa ngoma leyana xa idlalwa phayana, if that place is paying license, then it means that the person obeyibhalile laa ngoma will get paid, you understand. So even if ungumntu uyi-one uzenze zonke izinto ezi, you'll get paid as a performing, you'll also get paid for the music that you've written.
Ndicela nje ubamba kancinci itasakhi ne because before uqhube aba bantu sithetha ngabo i-most yabo njengoba bendisitsho baselokishini basekasi lawe baselalini, you'd find into yobana iithaveni ezininzi umzekelo don't even pay license. Iiklabhu ezininzi ezikhoyo even kufitshane don't even pay licenses. Ikhona indlela efostela aba bantu into yobana babhatale ezi zinto because i-most yethu for now iyaperforma as performing artists, iyacompose as producers, iyalento iyabhala as authors. Abanye bethu babengafuni bona uperforma but babethanda nje ubhala, bayazazi into yobana soloko bebhuwishwa xa besestagini because ayonto abayithandayo leya, and they are only forced ngokuba mabaye phaa because of into yobana ayikho enye indawo abazayifumana kuyo le mali. So is there a way to force ezi ndawo sisebenzisana nazo for ii-performances into yobana zona mazibhatale i-license so that we can get paid as artists even if asiyanga eqongeni? If siyabhala, if siyacompose and umsebenzi wethu uyakwazi ufumana umsebenzi, we can get paid without compromising our personalities siyoba zii-performers.
Okay, we are in the fourth industrial revolution now, and technology is coming in bit by bit, you know, and there are so many things that are new that are coming in, and they are so exciting. And industry to suppose basiyasebenzisana, you know. We are in the industry that likes to blame, you know. That's what I've noticed. We always like to band, you know, instead of study actions, sisebenzisana. When I'm saying that, I mean, as a musician, as a songwriter, it's compulsory for you to be a member of SAMRO. You know, that one is compulsory. It's compulsory for you as a musician to also join a Little Time Collection Society, SAMPRA. You know, you can join SAMPRA or you can join any organization, ECHO or IMPRA. You know, there are so many organizations that are there for different rights. So it's very important for you to learn to get that information. Now, ii-taverns zethu eziselokishini or ezisezilalini that are playing music, ngokomthetho, suppose but they are paying license. There we cannot argue, you know, suppose they are paying license. But then you will find out ukuthi they don't know ilali yakho, they don't know how many taverns that are there, they know when you are performing in these different places, you know. So it is your duty as a songwriter, as an artist, as a musician, to make sure you communicate with SAMRO, you communicate with the organizer and tell them uba apha kasi yam awubathengisi aba bantu but ulungiselela isonka sakho, yaqonda. So once uyenze loo nto leyo uba-report utsho uba okay, we've got these taverns apha every weekend. I promise you people from SAMRO will one day go to those taverns and make sure ukuthi they've got abalwi futhi nabo, they go and teach them about licensing, which is the public performance, you know, babafundise, and then they sign up and then they find a way of paying the license. I remember I had artists who are performing live, especially Eastern Cape, you know, who will say that SAMRO Robati for them to be members, they need to have a musical active, you know, for like 18 months. But now the challenge is bona badlalwe radioweni, badlalwe TV, you know, but they are doing a lot of live performances. So that's when I said to them, every time you perform, download the live performance forms, you know, and then every time you perform goes down. Gcwalisa forms uzifake SAMRO. So they've been doing that, and guess what? Today they are members, and their music has been active because SAMRO was able to go back to all those places and negotiate licensing, and then today the people are getting paid for their work. You see?
No, ndiyabulela kakhulu uTasakhe undincedisile apho because this is the information that I think siyayidinga kakhulu especially kula macala sikuwo. Koomajozi, koomagqeberha kwiindawo ezikufitshane i-most yazo ezi ndawo zifumana ii-blanket licenses for institutions zazo especially if it's a chain okanye ile nto indawo enee-branches ezohlukileyo. Now khandiqhubekekele kanye ke ngoku with ibali besinalo wena Hotman. Now sifikile kwi-understanding ye-authorship, sifikile kwi-understanding ye-composition, sifikile kwi-understanding ye-performing artist, and we are registered kwii-societies ozibalileyo ezikolektayo. What's the next step? Ithini le way uyofika phaa?
All right. So remember ukuthi now, because now we are going deep now into, because this is going to answer our question of the day.
Yeah.
Now you understand what is an artist. You understand what is a composer, what is an author. So now it means what you own your rights as a person who has written music. Once I say you own the rights, it means that whoever music wako must come to you. Ne? Azocela ipermit kuwe for usebenzisa umculo wakho. Now that means that you are the publisher of your work. Publishing means ownership. It means now you are the publisher of your work. Then we will have now a publishing company. A publishing company now, it's a company that you can assign your works to, meaning that you will sign an agreement with that company, giving them the rights that you have of ownership, of your songs to that company. But that will be for a period, and that will have a split whereby it must not be more than 50% for a publisher. So you will go into that agreement with that publishing company. That publishing company has a job.
Imake before ufike kanye apho wena Tasakhe, yabona uyandiloba kancinci ndinento erhalela utsibisa umlenze ndiye kwii-contracts, but make ndiwubuyise because that agreement especially xa ufika kwindawo ethi for a term kulapho khona ndilobeka khona because it's that defining factor ebangela into yobana abantu bangayohluli le ndawo uzawungena kuyo, which is the benefit of having a publisher. Because as you just said before, I already own lo msebenzi, so why would I give these ownership rights away for lo mntu into yobana aye yena ayokwenza the same thing I could have done myself? So I'm sure njengoba uzawuwela nje uzawungena kwezo ndawo zinjalo zento yobana umsebenzi walaa mntu kukuthini, and for le artist izozi-assess into yobana if you own lo msebenzi and unikezela ngezi rights, could you do the same job now with le ndawo kuyo and all of that. So before sifike apho khandicacisele nje ngee-terms ezohlukeneyo nee-pitfalls zazo, because kukho ii-trap ezithile abantu babhidwe ligama mhlawumbi ekuvele kwathiwa in perpetuity, umntu aqonda ubana hayi jonga ingathi likhumsha kamnandi, this is what I'm signing away, makwenzeke njalo. Abanye babethwe ziidili zento yobana i-term izawuhamba ne-advance, i-term ayizuhamba ne-advance, izinto ezithile njalo njalo. And what are those? And then uzowelela ke ngoku kule ndawo yento yobana umsebenzi wepublisher kukuthini.
All right. When it comes now to e-contracts, we always say ukuthi i-contracts is complicated. It's true, contracts were designed like that, back then. And if you look at contracts, you'll find out that it's cut and paste, most of them. And also you'll find out that there's a language that we both don't understand. Where you will find domicilium sitandi, because of the cut and paste, of in those contracts. But in all that, you have a right to seek for legal advice when you get a contract. And secondly, you also have a right to ask the contract yakho ngesixhosa. Akho wrong apha. Icele bakwenzele ngesixhosa, you don't need to be desperate, so that you can understand all these small words, all these fine prints that you see in that contract, So if you understand those things, or uyabuza, or you go for illegal advice, or you find people like us who've been in the industry will be able to advise you, if you have that, it becomes easy for you to understand that contract. Yeah, but so which means that once you know what you are signing, then it's going to be you. Because most of the contracts, I'll just talk about the term. I won't go deep into other stuff because we'll end up discussing contracts now. But then you will find
mm.
out most of these publishing contracts, they are for 3 years. And also they've got renewal like yeah 12 months after it expired, meaning that it's gonna be renewed every 12 months every time it expire until when you want to terminate, you need to terminate it 30 days before it expire i-contract yakho. You understand? So those are the most important things that people should understand, on the agreement. But what I'm saying is get it in your own language if ever you want to get it in your own language, or get a legal advice if you want to get a legal advice. What is nice today, we've got people who are good in translating. You can take the same contract and translate it in your own language, and then go through it, like that. So if we understand that, then it's easy
Yeah.
for you to sign or be in that agreement.
No doubt, no doubt. So why would I give my rights away to a publisher, Tasaki?
All right, thank you. Now, as I said, what you own the music. When you know nothing about publishing, yes, publishers, when they take your music, they'll be signing an agreement with you for a percentage split, a certain percentage that they will get for the job that they will be doing, for that music. So what they do is they take the music that you've written, and then their job is to find jobs for the music. Now, what I mean about finding jobs for the music, I mean that they are the ones who are going to sell your music to the advertisers. They are the ones who are going to pitch your music to the films, documentaries, games, in all these different platforms. I always make this example about Black Panther. Sheer Music signed a lot of content to Black Panther, and we heard a lot of South African songs that were signed by Sheer there. Sheer Music also signed, if you watched Rhythm City, Rhythm City will have a library as a share. Dingo will have a library as a share. So when it comes to finding jobs, they know their job, they know what they are doing. When you do not know that, so that is why you have an agreement with them. Secondly, they will negotiate. You do not know the rates as you are sitting there with it. For a TV, this is how you charge. For a radio, this is how you charge. For an advert, for a documentary, for whatever. So their job is to negotiate. Thirdly, administration. You do not know what contracts need to be signed when there are those negotiations for the usage of those songs. So Share will be there to do those negotiations on your behalf. You understand? As your publisher, you see. And then licensing the works. Licensing, the word licensing means borrowing, So they are the ones who are going to borrow other users your music to use for a period. It can be a year, 2 years, 3 years. So they will be borrowing that, they'll be licensing that music. They know how it's done, And then lastly, they will exploit the works. Exploiting the works means now to take the music and put it maybe in the taxis, wherever the music is not going to be generating income. We call that exploiting the works. So Share, they know their work, they know what they are doing. Or sorry, publishers, they know their work, they know what they are doing. They will do the administration, they will do almost everything, So you need to look for a right publisher, which is Share. Sorry. So the publisher's job is that.
I know, akosmogo, and the one who share takes over with platform your bangla way the publisher. But akosmogo, we're not really in competition ngokokwenyani because it's all about networks, as you say. It's all about understanding wonke lo msebenzi, and imarket yeyona nto ikohlulelayo, because I've never seen share publisher besiza elokishini. I've never seen share publishing besiza elalini. It's always them discovering what's already exploited kwezinye ii-platforms, which are record labels, independent artists, la way that approach them, and such and such and such. Coming to the next question, kanye ke ngoku
So,
naRhotmani.
sorry, on share, if Zangoeva, they did a tour in Western Cape doing townships. Tomorrow, Basechuwa. Tomorrow,
Mhm, mhm.
Basechuwa tomorrow morning, and then go Thursday tomorrow. Friday, Basemtata. You know,
Nice, nice.
they've been going out. You know, I will make
Mm.
sure that I take you wherever they are so that you can see their work now.
No problem, no problem. And I'll also like to contact them. Ndibonile nakwenye yezi unazo events apha, but we're gonna get to that. You have Jonathan Shaw speaking on one of those. So yeah, definitely like a sight to see, an informational session it will be. Umbuzo wami obuzawulandela wona Khotman, in this day and age, does it make sense for an artist to seek a recording label contract? A record label contract.
All right. I won't say it depends, but we need to start as artists. I think when we look at how the industry works, you know, in terms of the industry is a industry of numbers, you know. So it's for me personally, it's always difficult for an artist to get a recording deal when you don't have numbers. We always hear about numbers that we need to have followers. We need to know because this is a business to business transaction. You know, it's a business deal. You know, whatever agreement that you are signing, you must understand it's business. No one will sign you because of they like you. No record label will sign you just because of it's you, you know. But they will need to know that what are you bringing on the table? Are we going to make money like out of this, you know? So the best thing, if you believe in yourself and you know that you can invest in you when there's no one who can invest in you, if you trust your product, you believe in it, you have a right and you have an option of releasing it on your own independently, you know, without a recording company, you know. A recording company will find you on the way when they see that no, this one is actually on up to something. We can make our money from this one. Then they will come because the reason I'm saying that I've got so many old artists, ezindala ezisathi sifuna namhlanje usabethe idemo yaka-1994, you know, uthi usafuna i-recording deal na today la kwaito or la genre yangoko seyashiyeka emva seyaphuma kudala but usathi ufuna i-recording deal. If you believe in yourself and you have your own people, there's no use, there's no need of looking for a recording deal. Release your stuff, put it out there, prove it to the recording company so that when you go to the recording company, you go there now talking business and also being able to even negotiate the split because of you have the power, because you are bringing the money or you are bringing the audience that you have. And now you're
Definitely
not
when
going to South Africa or Africa, you can release your music worldwide now. You see,
mm,
there are no
mm.
borders at all.
Uh Ndinombuzo wokugqibela that I would like to go into, because andirhaleli nyhani nam sivalele ii-options ezithile umntu avele azicime just because it doesn't make sense currently. But for someone who has that door open, even though engayipursuing ngoku, inoba ii-key identifiers zakhe zoba uyaperforma kakuhle amakazinokhe ingazeziphi. And ndikuvile ubala ii-numbers that I assume that's social media numbers, that's audience numbers, abantu abangenayo eshowini xa umntu ezile and what not. Inoba zeziphi ezinye i-checklist umntu anomane esithi ndisebenzela uachieva le goal nale goal nale goal, so that I build a holistic beautiful image for umntu one-interest yokuinvesta kum as an artist.
All right. First of all, it's very important to understand that you are business. So you need to have a business plan. You understand for your work. And also, when you have a business plan, it's easy now to record what you have done. Now I can call an artist and ndibeka papa kwethu ndiyibuze naba, how many gigs have you done last year or since you started performing? They won't even remember. They'll say you're a lot, you know. So those are the most important things that you need to put. Also, you need to count. Secondly, how many interviews have you done? Which radio stations, which TV stations? Because Tina, we always sit emakas ethu looking for radio interviews. You've never done an interview at Lukanji FM. Lukanji FM is not far from you, it's close to you. You've never done an interview at Kala FM, you know. You've never done an interview True FM when it was there in front of you, like, you know. So all those things, those are the most important things that you need to take in everything that you are doing. There are databases now. I've been saying to artists, register your name as a business. There's nothing wrong with that, but then you are closing a lot of doors, or you are closing a lot of people who might use your name. You know, you find out ukuthi, there are so many CJs, you know, all over Lento, Africa, but there's no one
Mm,
orejistela gama walenza bamalibele lakhe yedwa, you know. And then umasipala apho ereni yakho xa ufuna ubhukha i-artist bayabuza uba unayo i-tax number. You don't have a tax number, you don't have a tax clearance, you know. So it's very important to make sure ukuthi you just register that name as a business, that you are able to have all these things and be able to count each and every work you do out there with people. So those are the things that you need to build. I always say, Guti, an artist is a character. So you need to build
mm,
a profile for that artist. You need to make sure that you write a script for a year, and this is just for a year. Ukuthi, this year, January, this is what you need to achieve, which is maybe two performances, you know, even if it's going to be tavern or club or whatever, but you need to have that. And the following month, you know, interviews, you know, are what we call OKRs in this business that we're in. But for you personally, you need to have those so that you can tick, 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 so that when you go to a company, you are able to say that Umas I've done the inauguration for them. I've done the opening of the library for them. I've done da 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 da. Da. You put all those things, and you need to have videos. You need to have a channel on YouTube where you make that everyone subscribes. I'm not talking about views. I'm talking about subscription. Make sure that you have numbers when it comes to subscription, because then you mean even if videos ziyabhatala ku-YouTube, just a video without music, without anything, you know, just nje a video like sizenza ividiyo ndisazawukleyima apho kuwe one of the good days ba indoda khandiqakezela kaloku ibhatele le video yabo. So there are those things that artists must know. So if you are in all the platforms and you have business a plan of yours, then it becomes easy for anyone to work with you. I'm talking about endorsements. I'm not talking only about record labels. I'm talking about endorsements. I'm talking about you competing, ekasi yakho, going, you've been performing for like 3 years or 5 years. You've been winning awards, but still, Kakfuni artist as a performer, you go to auditions. What's that? You understand?
mm.
So funeka uzikhuphe kolo luhlu, you know, ngezinto endizibalayo ezimbalwa, but these are the things that are most important that you need to have. Yeah, but
Definitely, Khudmani. You know, I wish we had more time because apa ndizawubuya ngenye imini. I will create a checklist of zonke ezi zinto ndizicollect ndizibhale phantsi so that umntu abe ne-access yazo, because ezi zinto are key for abahlali to actually go back, in fact come back to the videos that we talk in and discover ezi zinto. And to make it easier for them, I will compile these ngokwehlukeneyo ngokwezi sections sizithethileyo. But one last part endirhalela into yobana utatshe kuyo before I let you go is i-team. Khotman, inoba i-team ye-artist independent ifanele uba inantoni nantoni ngoku, because I understand into ezininzi uCindy Babe uyazenza, into ezininzi ziyenziwa at share na kuzo zonke ezinye ii-parts of ii-businesses ezikhoyo kwi-umbrella ka-Downtown. So inoba umntu yena xa eyedwa inoba funeka azibhildele into enjani as a team.
all right. As I said, that we are in the fourth industrial revolution. Things are changing. The industry is changing. The Italian and people are. What is more important is education of is knowledge how these things works. So team yako, you need to make sure that as you're building the business plan, you are also building the team within that. A social media manager is someone ekufuneka uyazi uba ngumntu oyi-one lo ongazomphazamisa tu, because that person must know the platforms ezitrendayo ezintsha. We were talking about Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We've got TikTok today. We've got Thriller that I know most people don't know about, Thriller. So those are the new platforms. There are other platforms that are out there. So that person needs to look at those. And then you have an artist manager. An artist manager, which is your manager that you employ, where that is an artist, not here now employer way. So your artist manager also need to have his own tasks. Managers that they need to know how many festivals are happening in the whole world. When are they happening? Who are the promoters? How do you submit stuff corner for Obama choose or your performer corner? Which is there are so many platforms and there are so many links that are shared outside for those performances. So those are the most important two. Even going to the audience, as I said, with the social media, we've got Foundy. We've got something called a Foundy, which is also under Downtown. Foundy, it gives you a platform to talk to your audience, to share information, to create videos, to share those videos, to promote, it's either it's a song or a music video that is coming out. So all I can say is it's your team needs to understand that education, needs to understand all the work that needs to be done within that. We take that is we put it here, we say this is a business, then let's focus on this business and then we go for it. So one of my dreams soon is to open a school for artist management so that I can make sure that they do a right thing.
Ndiyabulela kakhulu Tasaki. Ndicela univalele Khotmane by just letting me know into yobana what you will be doing from Ngomso ukuya phambili. Where will people get more of these talks, because these are very informational and these are what we need as the community, as the artists and independent labels. So uba uzawufumaneka phi and where can people find you and follow imisebenzi yakho and nezi companies usebenzisana nazo?
Okay, inkosi kakhulu Brian. I normally which I'm still gonna do now. I only mention ababhadeleyo. Ngabo ke ndizaba mention. Ngomso, I'm in Northern Cape, Creatives Conference. I'm there from tomorrow until Sunday. The conference ends on Saturday, and then at night there are performances. And then next week, 6, 7, I'm doing the awards I'm doing workshops for the awards that are happening in Bloemfontein. So that's where I will be for the 6th and the 7th. And then I've got a huge lineup, but in Africa that I'll be doing. I'm doing Tanzania. I'm doing Malawi. I'm doing Zimbabwe. I'm doing Namibia. All those I'll be posting them on my platform. That's where you will find them. But yeah, there's a lot that is coming. You can just follow me on Sakhele Mzalazala on Facebook, Sakhele Mzalazala on Instagram, Sakhele Mzalazala on Twitter, Sakhele Mzalazala on YouTube. And my bank account is lale nama.
Khotmane, manibulela kakhulu man. It's been a very fruitful informational session. Ndiyabulela kakhulu kodipha ixesha lakho and coming through nawe.
Bulela mna nkosi yami. Thank you.
No doubt, there we have it, man. We just had a beautiful session with Sakhele wakwaMzalazala. Khotmane ingaphaya eGqeberha ngokokuzalwa nokukhula, but he's been in Lesotho these past few days. I'm not sure noba selapha South Africa kwakhona nangoku, because as you just heard, Ngomso ukuya phambili excuse me, uzawube Northern Cape. So yeah, man, these are very beautiful sessions that I wish to keep on inviting abahlali into so that they could hear from ababantu who are active in the industry kwindawo ezohlukeneyo la way. So I'm hoping that kukho into ezawukwenzeka where you are at and you will let us know. Bang Entertainment is where you let us know at on Facebook, and then you can come through on one of these sessions nakwezinye ezilandelayo, or you can just come through nakulena and comment, talk about comment section events, and let us know in Dobana this is where it will be happening. And if there's anything else that you would like us to tackle as an issue that you have an interest on, okanye you don't understand about the music industry, regarding music publishing, regarding copyrights, regarding contracts, regarding events management, regarding multimedia careers, and all of that la way as Koyo way, these are the people we will be inviting and talking to. So I'm hoping that you can just reach out to us, SBU SBU at bangworks, bangworx.co.za. That's where you can find us at. Just send us an email letting us know in Dobana you would like us to tackle a topic of this nature, and that's what we will be doing. As of next week, you can just chill and relax. Subscribe kule way sisebenza kuyo apha la way Let's Ringa YouTube channel. If you subscribe, you will catch the next episode and catch more content coming through your way. Otherwise, diyabulela kakhulu ngabo bakho.